Hello traders, welcome to this weekly Forex overview again with me, Pierre from PAFX. As you see guys, the next course registration is now ongoing, and those of you who are interested just message me over Facebook or any other social media that you use to contact me at, and I will send you all the information needed. I still have 3 seats left for the batch that starts in November, and so far it seems like everyone is happy with what they are learning in those courses. So yeah, if you are interested, just let me know and I will send you all the information needed. As usual, we will start with the disclaimer before we start the session, so please read it carefully and know about the risk involved in trading. And in this session, everything I say about the trade, it's only my way of seeing the market, so please read it carefully and trade on your own risk, guys. Okay, yeah. And also, as usual, we will start with the Dixie. So welcome everyone. I would say welcome to each one of you, but it's gonna take a lot of time, so welcome once again and thank you for being here this week again. Please do not forget to hit the like button if you like this session. Of course, if you don't like it, don't forget to put a comment below in the section below the video and let me know what you didn't like and what you want me to do better. Yeah, so Dixie, it did reach the level that I was talking about earlier the last week, that we may find some resistance at this level at the 94.15 area here, where we do have also the monthly R1. So on Friday we reached that level and did get some rejection at that area, as you see here, and it is an important level, and I was looking for a possible bounce at this level. Now that should not mean that we're gonna get a total reversal, but I am personally expecting at least a correction down, probably a retest of this neckline, because we're gonna also look at gold later and see that there is a possibility that we may see. Let me make this arrow a little bit smaller, it doesn't need to be so big. So I am thinking of a possible correction. The deeper one to the monthly pivot point would be great before probably a continuation higher and break, because the downtrend that was so strong earlier looks like it's violated, is probably over, and to be more sure we want to see a retest of this neckline and rejection back down here. If that happened, that would give us also a possible inverted head and shoulders scenario somewhere here, and that would be another signal that we may see more to the upside. Now the major trend, we still be trading on the Dixie below the 100. This brown moving average is the 100, and below the 200 moving average. So technically, if we want to look at that, we're still in a downtrend, but once again it seems like the dollar have found some support down here last month at the monthly S1, where we also have the monthly S1 this month too, almost at the same level. And yeah, my expectation for the dollar that we may see some correction lower maybe next week, or at least back down to this low down here around the 93 area. before a possible continuation higher. Now, why I'm saying that, if we connect what I'm talking about to gold, I said also, I did publish this idea that when gold and Dixie reach the resistance and gold reach this possible support area, that we may see some reversal on both of them, and we did basically get that. Now, gold did reach the 100 moving average on the daily. The 200 is still somewhere here below. We do have this major trend line still. At that this area here, we have the monthly S1, we have a previous support and resistance area, very good one. It is a very clear area where the price have been reacting at this level here, the 1258 level. We also have the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement of this whole move here from this major last low to the major last high. Let's not forget that gold did actually break this major area and traded much higher. So the RSI went much lower now, and we do have some divergence on it. If you take from this low to this low and compare it with the RSI, it is not much of, it's almost equal lows here, but look at how big the difference is between those this low and this low. So there was lots of confluence that was telling us we may see a bounce on gold, and if we go back to the Dixie, there was also lots of confluence on the Dixie too for a possible bounce down. So that's why I have this idea about may see some correction down on the dollar to probably to the monthly R1, monthly S1, and that we may see the opposite on gold back up to at least this neckline and this possible resistant level, looking left 1, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times here. It was acting as very good and strong resistant. And if we do have the same scenario where dollar gonna correct down, gold correct higher, then this area here should be our possible take profit if you find a good entry to go long on this one, on gold. Yeah. If we take a Fibonacci retracement tool on this leg, in case gold really keep going higher, we see that we have around the monthly pivot and around the neckline, we do also have the 38.2 Fibonacci retracements, which could also act as a good reason for us to probably look for take profit level and possible rejection back down from this area. Yeah, so if gold next week give us a chance to enter long, that would be great. And what I'm looking at is a possible, if we get a possible double bottom, that gold go back down, retest this area down here, and give us a bullish signal to try to go long. Now we got a bullish signal, but it was very late Friday, so I don't enter such a trade and such a late on a Friday. So yeah, that's better to wait for the market to open and see if we're gonna get any evidence back down in this area down here. Yeah. If we talk trend wise, we're still in a bearish trend on this leg. As you see, we keep making lower lows and lower highs, and you have to know that if you want to take a long here, that you are going against this short-term trend, but probably with the long-term trend going on since back down here. Yeah, so keep that in mind, so you have your right take profit level and write risk management on that trade. Yeah. Marcus, I'm not sure if is there anyone else having problem with the sound. Please let me know, guys. Oil, after breaking this structure here and even putting another higher high, the oil got rejected very strongly below the 51.50 area, did a retest on Thursday, and then got rejected back down on Friday. The idea here, looking at the RSI, you see that there is some more room to the downside, and that we probably, if we want to go long on oil, somewhere around the monthly S1, where we also have previous structure, the 100 moving average could be at that level too. If oil reach down this area, we do have a previous structure here. We do have the monthly S1 at that level, and if we let's measure and see Fibonacci retracements, we do have the 61.8 higher than the monthly S1, and this 78.6 is lower. So there is this area here in between that I will be looking at, and the reason I'm saying that there is a possibility for a bounce from this level, that we do have already, looking at this low and where the price is right now on the RSI, we do actually have already some heading divergence. Yeah, so this low on the price is much lower than where the price is right now, and looking at the RSI, this low is much higher than this one here. So that give us bullish heading divergence, and when and if the price reaches this level down here, probably the RSI gonna be at the oversold area and around the 100 moving average. So there is a possibility that we get a bounce from this area down here, at least for a retest of the monthly pivot point up here. Now, if oil do another retest of this structure up here, you probably can look for a possible bearish divergence for another bounce back, but the best thing in my opinion is to wait down here at this neckline and see if you can join another long shot to the upside. Okay, there is this hurricane coming now, ongoing in the USA, and I know that there is lots of oil platforms shutting down and stuff like that. So it's very hard to say how the price will open later tonight. So keep that in mind. That may give oil some gaps or something like that. So keep that in mind, yeah, for next week. So let's start with Forex, and we will start with Aussie Jappy, which is on a good level right now, where it is testing. If we look left, we see that this area here has been acting as good support and resistance level in the past. The pair is still trading above the 100 and the 200 moving average, but we did actually break another low on the daily. We put another lower high, so it seems that there is a possibility that we may see more down. But what I will be looking at first next week is, of course, where it is testing right now. So there is a possibility that we may see, let's go down to a lower time frame, there is a possibility that we may see bounce from here for at least retest higher around this neckline or the monthly pivot point. So first scenario is look where the price is right now for a possible bounce for on this level. If not, then of course, if this got broken, then of course we're gonna be looking at the monthly S1 area, where we also have some structure to work with. down here. We do have also, if the price reaches this area here, the 100 and the 200 moving average gonna be at that level too, and they may act as support around this area here. Yeah, so those are the scenarios for this one. Let's not forget that we now have broken a new low, which means that there is possibility for more downside, but we are sitting at a, for what for me looks like a good support, and there is a possibility for a bounce from this level. Aussie New Zealand, last week in my room we were looking for a possible break of this neckline, and that would complete this double bottom scenario for at least a retest of the monthly R1. Well, we didn't get that, and as you see, we have some indecision ongoing on at this level. So we have to go down to a lower time frame to try to understand what's going on here. As you see here, we are now back at the top of this lower range, and where the price is testing right now, there is a possibility that we may see a bounce back down or a break of this level that would confirm the break of the neckline of this possible double bottom. Now for me, when this start happening, when you start getting higher lows and the price keep hovering around the highs, I usually start to look for a possible breakout of that level and that's what I am actually looking at, and that is my possible plan for this one for next week, that we may see a break here and a possible continuation higher to the monthly R1. Okay, but as for now, we still have this structure that may act as resistant. It did act as resistant here, here, back here. It was support here. So we have this lower range that now could be a range play. So you can still look for a possible, if you got good bearish evidence up here, you can still try to short it, cause your risk to reward is very good at this level. Your stop loss gonna be somewhere above this last high, and that is a very good risk to reward to try to see if the pair wanna go back down. If you want to trade the breakout, then you probably want to see play with this shorter range here and go down to even lower time frame to the 1 hour and try to work from these lows back down here. So instead of buying the breakout after the breakouts happen, after this happens, and that could be a possible fake out and the price go back down, you can try to buy it from the lows. If you get a good entry reason, good signal down here at the low of this smaller range like this, and see if it's gonna get a breakout or not. Yeah, Aussie USD did also reach a very good support level in my opinion, where we had the monthly S1. We didn't really reach the monthly S1, we didn't test that, but as you see, it did test to the pip where I marked my possible support level. And the reason I have this marked here is looking left to previous structure. It was a good resistant level looking left here. It was testing many times, and this was basically the first time we really test this broken area here. At that level we did get the bounce last Friday. Now if you look at the moving average also, they are heading from the low here we have the 100 and the 200, so we're still trading above both of them, which make me look for a possible bounce from this area here. Looking, let's not forget the Dixie, that we think that the Dixie may found some resistance, which means this pair could also find some support around this area. So for next week I will be looking for a possible retest down here, or even if we got a retest and rejection from the monthly S1, that would be even better, which means we're gonna be trading after some stop loss hunt down here in this area to try to find a long. If we look at the RSI on the 4 hour, it was at the extremes, at the oversold. We do have some divergence already between this low and this low, and you're gonna see it better if we go to the 1 hour. As you see here, this low and this low compared to what we have on the RSI. So on the 1 hour we do have actually we did have a very good divergence last week, so some more down here would be great before a bounce. Let's keep in mind that this is a counter trend trade, so you have to count that in your take profit scenario and risk to reward. So if this happened, that would give us a possible inverted head and shoulders on the 1 hour, and especially if we keep having this nice divergence, that would be at least a short-term trade back down to this broken structure up here. Yeah. Kajapi, where the price is testing right now, is a very important level. We do have the monthly pivot point at that level. We do have, as you see here, previous structure that got broken. It was a resistant level here, and now it probably could be a support level. Now last week we didn't get much of rejection. The first Friday we got rejection, but then the price went all the way back down. As you know, after the NFP we got this move to the upside, and then after we got this rejection back down. So if you're gonna trade the yen pairs and Swiss pairs, you have to keep in mind that this North Korea thing may give us some headache in our trading, and that the technicals probably won't work as usual, because news used to give us much of spikes and stuff like that. Now I try and draw a Fibonacci retracement to this leg here, so we see also that the 38.2 is almost at that level too, which can give us some confluence. So where the price is testing right now is a good first level to look at. What's not so very good is that the RSI didn't reach the extreme on the daily. That would make the decision much easier. And if this area got broken, then of course we're gonna be looking for the 61.8 area, where we also have the monthly S1 and previous structure down here. So we do have this level and this level down here, but at first I would be looking from this structure here. If we get at least a retest of the highs, that would be a very good short-term trade with the major trend, as we still above the 200 and the 100 moving average. This one is almost the same as the one before. It is trading above the 100 and the 200 moving average. The 100 moving average has been acting as good dynamic support. Even the 200 got rejected many times here, and the area in between them has been acting as good dynamic support. Now we do have the yearly R2, the red one here, which is also a very good structure, possible structure support. Looking left here, it was a very strong resistant level, and we got a break, a retest, and now we are testing once again. So where the price is testing right now is for me a good level to look at for a possible bounce, or even if we test the 100 moving average or this trend line, that will still be a good level. At that same level, if we measure this move to the upside, this whole leg here, we do have the 38.2 at the yearly R2 and the previous structure, and the 61.8 is below here around the monthly S1. So we do also have divergence on the RSI, looking at this low and this low here, and on the RSI the low is much lower. So that's what make me think that we can look where the price is testing now for possible bullish evidence for at least retest of the highs from this important level. And on the 4 hour, we see that structure much more clearer, and we see that we do have the 200 moving average also coming from behind down here. Euro Aussie at resistance right now, still above the 100 moving average and the 200, and this trend line making a very nice triangle here, looking at this price action. Well, it is at resistance, and one can expect another bounce as we had here in the past many times. But actually the thing that we keep doing, putting higher lows and having this clear structure here, make me think that we probably gonna see a breakout on this one, especially if the euro got much stronger against the USD, since we saw the Dixie possible resistance, that we may see a break or at least a retest of these highs up here on this pair, because as I said, seems like we keep getting higher lows, and the price is hovering, and for me it looks like it is building up for a possible breakout from this level. So where the price is testing right now is a very important area, and depends on your strategy you want to if you have a breakout strategy, you surely want to look at this level and see if we gonna get that breakout or not. If you want to trade against the trend, of course you will be looking for bearish evidence where the price is right now for at least retest at the monthly pivot point. If we got that retest next week, then I will be looking for sure for a possible long from this level back up to at least retest of these highs once again. So there is lots of possibilities on this one, but once again, I personally think that the thing that we keep hovering at these levels, that we may see a breakout this time. Euro JAPY, the level I'm looking at for next week is down here. I want to see how this will react if it did come down and test the 131.40 area down here, because it was a good level here in the past, and as you see here also it was acting at good resistance. We never got a real test of this broken structure, so this is the first level I will be looking at. It's not the best traded pair right now, if you ask me. We have like many days of sideways market, no trend continuation on either side, and the RSI is like in the middle, which make it a little bit harder. I like to see oversold or overbought RSI before entering. We're still trading way above the 100 and the 200 moving averages, and we did break above this lower range, and that's why I am waiting to see the retest of this lower range, the retest of this edge, and see if we're gonna get another opportunity to find a bounce back up from this level down here. 4 hour, you see it's like sideways market. Last Friday we have a possible short, at least short-term signal with this bearish engulfing just below the 100 moving average. We broke it, did a retest, got this bearish engulfing candle here, and yes, it was late Friday, so we don't take such a signal, and it is now close to this possible support level. So once again, we may see the retest down here, and if we got that, I will be looking for a possible bounce from this level. If broken, then of course the monthly S1 is probably the next market objective, and we should be waiting for a possible retest before jumping in for more short. We want to see a break, a retest that failed to go back up again, and then that would be much safer to try to short this one back down to the monthly S1 and probably close this little gap here. But to follow the major trend, once again, I'm trying to go long from this level here, 131.50. Euro sterling, a perfect call from last week. We had all the signals, we had all the evidence, previous structure, support. We got bullish divergence, so it was really stupid simple to take this trade, and especially after this little stop loss hunt down here where we broke this previous structure, and then we got the signal on this. We got a couple of inverted hammer, and then this bullish engulfing candle on the daily. It was the last thing we waited for, and we got a very good move so far, and we did break above the monthly pivot point now. So if you are long on this one, you see that we did break also above the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement, and I think take profit targets should be somewhere in this area around the 61.8 and the monthly R1 and previous possible supply level. Looking left, you see why we got this rejection down here. The trend is still above the 100 and the 200 on the daily, so basically we can say that we are still in an uptrend on this particular move. And this area here is of course a very interesting level for a possible take profit or a possible reversal back down, because the RSI is soon at the extremes also. And if we go down to the 4 hour, we see we had this perfect rounded bottom, and we kept trading higher since that. If you're not in this trade and you want to join, we want to wait for at least a retest back down here, or even better, if we get a retest of this neckline down here. Yeah, that would be great if that happened, to try to take another shot if you didn't enter this trade yet. Or if we keep going up, then as you see on the 4-hour, the RSI, it's now at the extremes. It has been that level for a while now. So if the price keep going up, then of course we want to try to sell this monthly R1 and the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement and the test of this structure up here. Very clear levels, and it should be very simple way to take those trades, and depends on what your triggers are. So, yeah. Euro New Zealand broke the neckline and did enter this upper range once again. So it is a clear level up here. I am looking for this structure up here around the monthly R1, previous structure high. So we are in an uptrend above both moving averages, the 100 and the 200 on this one, but we can wait to see if the price is going to test this area to try and take a possible bounce back down, at least to retest of the neckline and the monthly pivot point. That is my plan for this one for next week. Or if we go back down to lower time frame as the 4-hour, and we see that the price go back down to do a retest of this structure here, that would be also a good level to try to join the bulls for the retest of the previous highs. Those are the two ideas I have on this one. We have break, retest on this candle, and continuation. So another retest back down to this structure here, that would be a good level for me to try to join the bulls on this move for the retest of the highs. EURUSD, we got the rejection. It is almost the same. We had the monthly R1 on the Dixie, which is almost the same at the monthly S1 on EURUSD. So probably that why we got that rejection last week. We did test previous structure support, and we do have the monthly S1 at this level. We are still above the 100 and the 200 moving average. Now I think that the dollar is getting stronger. Of course, we did have this head and shoulder broken neckline, and we had the retest back down here now. So I think that we may see some more upside on EURUSD back up from this structure here. So if we go down to the 4-hour, of course, it did move some for now to the upside. We're still in a bearish structure, of course. There is no new major highs broken, and we are below the 200 and the 100 moving average on the 4-hour. So the trend to the downside is possibly started, and we may for longer term keep seeing more down on the EURUSD. But once again, short term, I think if we get another retest of this structure, we can look for a possible buying bullish evidence down here for at least a retest back up of this neckline and previous structure around the monthly pivot point. Looking at the RSI, you see we have a very good bullish divergence right now. Three bottoms divergence. I do like that a lot when this happen. 1, 2, 3 bottoms, and they keep getting higher when the price keep moving lower and making lower lows. And that this last divergence happens at this beautiful support makes me think that there is a possibility for at least a correction back up on this pair. Sterling Aussie, where it is testing right now, is actually a good level. On the daily we are at the 100 moving average and the monthly pivot point and the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement. So yeah, we should be looking at this level and see how the price will react. If we don't get a bounce from this level here, we may see a retest lower for at least the 200 moving average, and previous structure support got resistant at this back here. It was support back here, and here was also resistant level. So around this area, and the extreme low on this one to take along should be, of course, around the 61.8 and the previous structure neckline down here. Let's not forget that the sterling UK have lots of political news going on right now, and lots of uncertainty of what will happen with Brexit, with Theresa May making speeches, and they seem to have some trouble with that. So you have to keep in mind those things trading sterling these days. Yeah, so that's very, very important that you don't forget to keep an eye on the news, and especially UK political news is needed to have some looking at the market sentiment about sterling. Okay, but what I will be giving you today is only technical levels and nothing else. No news, no political things, no nothing. I'm just warning you about those things. But here in this market overview, I will be only talking technicals. Sterling CAD, at the retest of the 200 moving average, we got this rejection and bearish divergence on the RSI, and broke the neckline, broke the monthly pivot point, and seems like we are heading lower. So if you are short, the area you should be looking at is down here at around the neckline. And if we put a Fibonacci retracement on this move, you see that we also have the 61.8 at this level. So down here should be your possible take profit. If you want to join the bears on this move, of course, we want to look for a possible retest of this neckline for next week. Bearish evidence at this level, and then try to short it back down to 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level and previous neckline. That would be a good level for a possible bounce up back again from this area down here. Okay. This one did also break almost the same thing as the CAD. We're now trading below the monthly pivot point. We're trading below previous resistance structure looking left, and it seems that the RSI have some room down. I think that this pair may reach the 61.8 and probably test the 100 and the 200 daily moving averages. I think the same scenario here would be if we get a possible retest of this structure, then you can try to join the bears back down to the 61.8, or if it keep going down, then you're probably could be looking around this area for a possible bounce back up. This pair is like having these gaps, and almost all of them are at good level as the monthly S12 Fibonacci retracement down here also. Yeah, so we should keep an eye on the RSI, how fast it gonna be oversold or not, and looking on lower time frame for those small retests to try to trade it. If you want to go short, you want to trade it from the 4 hour and the 1 hour to see those evidence. Yeah, so when I'm saying bearish or bullish evidence, I don't really mean that you want to see those evidence on the daily to trade them. Yeah. Sterling JPY, where it is testing right now, it is a good level to look at, if you ask me. Looking left, it is actually good previous broken structure that we never really tested yet. This is the first time we test this structure after this breakout. So of course it is a level to important level looking left that we may be looking at first for next week, and see if we may get a bounce from here. We do have hidden divergence already, looking at the RSI between this low and this low. As you see, they are really doing the opposite here, and it is a very good hidden divergence. The price is almost at the extreme of the RSI. So this area where the price is testing right now is important level to look at for a possible at least a short-term bounce back up from here, and we may keep seeing a possible continuation down on this one. But where the price is right now, you should be looking and watching this area to see if we're gonna get this short-term bounce back up. 4 hours, there is not much divergence yet, just a little one here. So we keep putting lower lows and lower highs. So this short-term trend is still valid, bearish trend. So yeah, you have to know that you are taking a counter trend trade if you want to go long on this one. Okay. For to shorting this, I think we want to look at least a retest of this structure up here at this level here. That would be the first level to look at, and we have another level even a little bit higher that gonna also this major neckline here, that would be also another good level to look at around the 150 area for shorting ideas. Okay. Sterling New Zealand, the area down here is the support level that I will be looking at for this pair. The same goes here. We do have hidden divergence on the RSI already, if you look between these lows here, and that this area could act as a possible support level for a possible bounce back up. We may see some ranging in between these highs and these lows on this pair the upcoming week. On the lower time frame, you see that we didn't really reach this the lows of this range yet. So we do have this range right now to work with, and we may define it like this. So until this range is broken, I think we can keep trying to buy from the lows and sell the highs until we see a real break, and if that happens, that will send us back down to probably the monthly S1 or even lower. But as for now, you can try to long the lows of this box and the retest of this structure here. It is it has been acting as good support so far. Sterling USD seems to be the leading pair on between all of them. And as you see, we did almost reach the monthly S1 already. We still have some room down to reach that, but we got this rejection at previous support, and the reason I've marked this as support is, of course, looking left, we have those tests back down here, here, that got broken and acted as support, so that's why I had this level. But I still think that we may see another test lower around the monthly S1. That would be great to try to take at least a retest of these structure up here on this one. As you see, the 100 moving average is coming from the downs from below here. The 200 is also below price. We had this cross around June between them, and as far as we are trading above, especially if we get a test of the 100, I think it is a good reason to try to long this pair, especially if we do test a little bit deeper and reach the monthly S1. That would be a good level to look at to try to go long. For our not much of divergence yet, but yeah, the last couple of candles last week was bullish candles, but that could also be just profit taking at the end of the week, and that's why we got this bullish move, a little bit of bullish move at least. So once again, if we got a lower retest, that would be a good level to try to see if we get bullish evidence on that time frame for at least a retest back up to this structure here. That would be a good take profit level. As you see, we broke it and we never did a real retest of that structure. So that's the plan for this pair for next week. New Zealand CAD, basically where it is testing right now, it is an important support level. Now structure wise, if you look here, you see that we broke the neckline here of this possible double or triple top. We put a higher high, higher than this, higher than this. Then we put another higher low, but we didn't get the continuation after this higher low to break another high to start thinking that we may keep going higher like this. So that didn't happen, and it is a little bit of unsure situation, so we may have some sideways trading on this one. We got a lower high, and now we are at previous low once again around the monthly pivot point. So where it is testing right now could be a minor support to look at. If we go down to 4 hour, you can see it much more clearer. Resistant, broken, retested as support couple of times, another retest as support, and now we are at that level again. So look at this level at first for a possible bounce higher from this level, or if that got broken, then your take profit should be somewhere around the monthly S1 and previous structure support looking left here. So we probably gonna see this area down here that gonna act as support for another bounce up. Okay, so I am always trying to give you a couple of scenarios, guys, and that's what make those sessions we doing take such a long time. New Zealand USD, I was looking for a completion of A, B, C, D down here around the monthly S2. We got this first rejection on Friday at around the monthly S1. As you see, the price did break below, but then closed above the monthly S1, and it was another very good support mark up here. As you see, it did test that to the pivot, and the reason we have it at this level is, of course, previous neckline of this major structure here. We are now trading below both the 100 and the 200 moving average. So on this one, if you want to take a counter trend trade to the upside. You probably want to see another retest lower, which probably gonna give you a double bottom, especially on the 1 hour, and look for another bounce back up for at least this level, or even better if we got the retest of this level. And if it gives you some bullish divergence on the RSI, if you got that double bottom, that would be great. But after that, if we do really reach this level, you should be looking for a possible continuation back down on this pair, and probably after that retest we may see the completion of this AB equals CD pattern somewhere down here around the monthly S2, and this equal measured move could happen. Let's see if we get any confluence on the Fibonacci extension. The completion gonna be around the 1.27 as you see, but the 1.41 is also around the monthly S2, so we do have this possible kill zone to look at if the price really break this level, and then the ABCD could be completed somewhere down here for a possible bounce back up. Okay, the best scenario for me, if we get the retest early next week of this structure, and then I would try to short it once again for at least retest of this structure down here. And those of you who like to trade counter trend, as I said, you can try to find bullish evidence around this area down here. USD CAD almost reached the monthly R1. I still think there is a possibility that we do test that area before we probably gonna see another move back down toward the monthly pivot point on this one. The reason I'm saying that, we do have previous structures resistant here. The 100 and the 200 are getting closer now. We're still trading below them. We do have a Fibonacci confluence around that level too, looking at this leg here. So we do have the 78.6 at that same level where we have the monthly R1, and we do have this previous structure high at that same level. Yeah. On the RSI, if you compare this high and this high, you see also that we do have bearish heading divergence on that too. Looking at the price right now, as you see, it was almost near the extremes also. The RSI started making divergence also between this high and this high, looking at this level here. If you look at it like this, so there is some Fibonacci confluence, the monthly R1, previous structures resistant, that what make me start thinking that we may see at least a retest of the monthly pivot point, a correction lower, and especially if we do see the Dixie weakening a little bit, since we talked about that resistant. So this may also happen on this pair, that we see that correction down. Yeah. USD JPY, to me this curving behavior here is telling us that we are losing some momentum. As you see, last week hard traded, lots of wicks to the upside, lots of wicks from the low the lows too, and last Friday we had this move break above this one, this high here. So I think right now, after this break above here, there is some after the break of this high, that there is some traders that been trapped, the ones that went long on the break of the previous high, looking for a retest of previous structure high. are probably trapped now in a long position. I think the market objective on this pair is actually to try and reach this previous structure high of this major range. But as for now, looking at the RSI start heading down, this curving behavior to the downside, making a possible rounded top here, all that is telling us that we may see at least a correction back down on this pair. And last Friday, after those North Korea news, we got this major bearish engulfing candle. And looking at this range now, where is it? This break to the upside, what I mean that there is many bulls trapped at that. So we still have this range still valid, and I think a break below here, we do have a lots of stop loss pocket that gonna get triggered and give this the needed momentum to move back down to the monthly pivot point. And the same goes for the bears somewhere here. All the ones that went short, the stop loss pocket is somewhere around this area here. So a break to the upside, of course, gonna trigger that and move this pair much higher. But once again, we go back to the daily. I see that we broke the 200 moving average on the daily again, and we may only see a retest of the low of this structure. So work with this range, guys. If you see that the price next week do another retest around the 1330 area, you can try to short it back down. And if you got bullish evidence at this range here, you can try to go long until you see a break to the downside or a possible break higher. But for me, I think we are moving lower on this one for at least a correction back down to these levels down here, this structure down here. And that was the last pair, and we are back on the Dixie. So guys, a couple of minutes for questions, or if you have any other pairs you want me to look at, shoot them in the chat please right now. Very nice numbers of viewers today. I think we was like 50 or 55 as most, but very little like buttons was clicked. So yeah, if you did like the session, please do hit the like button. If you didn't like the session, please comment in the section comment section below and let me know what you didn't like about it. Let's see, I don't see any questions yet. I will give it I know that there is some lagging time between me and you guys, so let's give it one more minute, and if I don't see any other questions, so I will call it a day. Timothy, you can just see the recording, buddy, if you got late. We did almost about 23 pairs, so yeah. You're welcome, Tabu. Yeah, we did Aussie Jappy. It was actually the first pair after gold, oil, and then we did Aussie Jappy. So if you start the recording from the beginning, we're gonna be like the first 7 or 8 minutes. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you. You're welcome, Wilson. I'm glad that you like it, buddy. You're welcome. Okay, guys, it seems that there's no questions. Yeah, thank you very much for being here with me today. Once again, don't forget to hit the like button and trade safe for next week. And once again, those of you who want to join the next best batch of students that start the first week of November, just hit me a message over Facebook and I will send you all the information needed. Thanks for watching and see you out there. Bye bye.